Now the current hit by the rock star group whose manager supported them in the early days by cutting hair. They climbed to super band stardom out of San Francisco, but not with the San Francisco sound the Bay City's famous for. Where they're from is San Francisco's Mission District, a low-income area of Spanish-speaking minorities, which explains the Latin rhythms in their rock sound. Well, the man who took them under his wing before they ever made a dollar was a barber named Stan Markham, and he kept on cutting hair to support the 7 musicians and himself until things started to happen. First, it was the usual thing with gigs around the Bay Area. They built a reputation, and then with their appearance at Woodstock and in the film, instantly became a star group. And if Stan Markham has cut any hair since then, it's not because he had to. At number 16 this week, with a hit from their latest million-selling album, here's Santana.
American Top 40.
Hi, this is Casey Kasem. Way back in 1969, Carlos Santana made his chart debut with an instrumental titled Jingo, and he's had great success ever since. Though he's never scored a number 1, but it's not too late. He's currently at number 2 with his hit Smooth. Will 30 years be the charm for this rock guitar legend? We'll find out as we count down all the biggest hits in the USA on American Top 40 from AM/FM radio networks. Every week, American Top 40's heard coast to coast and around the world on great radio stations like 102.7 KFRX, Lincoln's hit music, Lincoln, Nebraska. Today's hottest hits, Mix 94.1 FM, Concord, Laconia, Franklin, New Hampshire. Today's best music, Q93, Alexandria, Louisiana, and 98.9 from the heart of Blagoevgrad, Bulgaria. Well, now we're up to the hit Maria Maria. It's by a guitar legend who's so famous, a hotel in San Francisco asked him to decorate a suite, which they named for him. It was back in the early 90s that the owners of the stylish Hotel Triton in San Francisco decided that they needed to do something special to stand out. And so they came up with the idea of inviting famous rock stars to design suites which would bear their names. The first one they asked was the late Jerry Garcia, leader of the Grateful Dead. Since Jerry was already a painter who had designed a line of neckties, it wasn't much of a stretch. Jerry not only designed the fabric used in the room, he even painted a self-portrait, which sits in the Jerry Garcia suite to this day. And thanks to his work there, the hotel succeeded in finding other artistically inclined rock stars to design rooms, like the guitarist who tops the chart this week on American Top 20. In the suite that he decorated, he added a lot of Mexican antiques to reflect his heritage, and to reflect his spirituality, he added a meditation area. This week, the designer of the Carlos Santana suite at the Hotel Triton in San Francisco is also doing some designing on the chart, where he's decorating the number 23 spot. Here's Santana along with the product G&B on Maria Maria.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
And that means we're up to the number 1 song of the year. It features 2 hot stars, a man and a woman with a 36-year age difference. The male star in this case was born in the village of Autlan de Navarro in Mexico in 1947. Looking for a better life, his family moved first to Tijuana and then to San Francisco in the late 60s. And it was in San Francisco that he found fame as one of the greatest guitarists of the rock era. The female star was born in a far more privileged world in the affluent community of Sedona, Arizona in 1983. She grew up surrounded by people who believed in the power of crystals and harmonic vibrations. The 2 stars were brought together by record company president Clive Davis, who thought he felt a synergy between them. And when they got together, these musicians from different generations created the biggest hit of the past year. The number 1 song of 2003 with 14 weeks at the top of the chart is The Game of Love by Carlos Santana and Michelle Branch.
Number 9.
Here's a musician who's gone deep into the cosmic meaning of music. Carlos Santana says, quote, "If you surrender your whole being to a note, gravity disappears. With 1 chord, you can tell a story as deep as the ocean." Here's Santana with Alex Band of the Calling and Why Don't You and I.
Why Don't You and I from Santana featuring Alex Band of The Calling as Carlos celebrates his 58th birthday this week.
Well, now we're up to the song I'm Feeling You by a rock legend who doesn't sing. He says, I let my guitar do the singing for me. Carlos Santana first hit the top 40 back in 1970 with Evil Ways and Black Magic Woman. Back in those days, his vocalist was Greg Rowley. And over the years, Santana has used many band members on his songs. More recently, he's turned to guest singers for his vocals, stars on their own like Rob Thomas, Alex Band, and Michelle Branch. Why doesn't Carlos Santana sing? He says, quote, I could sing, but I think my voice is thin. It isn't right for my music. And anyway, I prefer to let my guitar do the singing for me. It has a beautiful voice. Here's Santana with Michelle Branch in the Wreckers and I'm Feeling You. Now we're up to an AT20 Extra by Carlos Santana, a star who says he's going to bring light to the most lit-up city in the world. In recent years, Celine Dion, Cher, and Bette Midler have all taken up residence in the city of Las Vegas. And now, Carlos Santana is the latest star to become a Vegas regular. Beginning May 27th, Santana will be the resident band at a new club called The Joint in the Hard Rock Hotel. Carlos signed a 2-year deal, performing 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. He says, we're going to bring a lot of joy, light, peace, and happiness to a place that's based on illusion. I want to give Las Vegas a show that will move you to dance, to cry, to laugh, and to feel alive. I'm ready. I'm inspired. I'm going to rock the Hard Rock. Here's Santana with a song that lit up the chart back in 2002. That's an AT20 Extra from 2002, Santana with Michelle Branch and The Game of Love.
Counting down the hits with Kasem.